is what I have given yesterday, the timeline. 10 years or 50 years, what happens? If you are able to give diversified answer, diversified events, both locally and internationally, your answer is complete, especially in mains. Prelims wise, you would not feel difficulties of answering. That's why I am repeatedly asking that. Repeatedly, students are putting questions in email form that in Spectrum 2 asked how to study after the Spectrum. That's why I'm saying. I already told so many times that don't try to don't try to study line by line. It's impossible. If you wish to study line by line, go and study in 11th standard, 12th standard. That's different. This is different. In 12th standard, to get a top rank, you try to study cover to cover, and you have to reproduce the cover to cover as such to get full score. It is impossible here, and not necessarily in UPSC. So discard the graduation method, discard the school method. This is not at all suitable for competitive exam. Okay, since you are too young, the same method you are being taught, you are being guided in schools and college is not at all applicable here. One second thing is, as I said, all the textbook, not just a history book, all the textbook in UPSC and competitive exams are reference book. There is no textbook. Even NCERT is not textbook. They would not ask all the questions from NCERT. You no need to reproduce and you no need to vomit whatever mentioned in NCERT. Okay, so school method is different and institute competition method is entirely different. No need to study line by line. Repeatedly I'm saying that, since even yesterday also I got a couple of questions from the students regarding this. Yes, so with this today the last part of the modern Indian history. In this we already discussed the events between 1922 to 1930. In this the mere continuation, one is the revolutionary nationalism, phase 2. One we discussed of the Bengal group, the famous personalities of Surya Sen, and the second group is the UP, Bengal and Bihar group. So open the second set of revolutionaries in phase 2. Note it down. UP, Bengal, Bihar. Here two organizations are famous. Note it down. What is organization name is HRA. HRA. Organization name is HRA. What is HRA? Is Hindustan Republican Army. Note it down. Hindustan Republican Army, 1924. Republican Army, 1924, was started in Kanpur. By another thing is here A may be army or association. So Hindustan Republican Army or association at Kanpur by a group of revolutionaries, that is Ram Prasad Bismal, Asfahullah Khan, Likewise, so many revolutionaries here. These two are notable people. HRA was started in Kanpur, 1924. Take it? Yes. So this is what. Now, as we already discussed, in IRA, Indian Republican Army, what is the purpose of such a revolutionary is to kill the British. For that, they should have weapon. For that, they should need money. For that, they should enter into looting activity. But IRA group, instead of looting the money, they straight away looted the arms, weapons. But here, if you come here, this HRA group, they decided to loot because they also should kill that British. For that, they need weapon. For that, they need money, and they should loot it. Now they got information. What kind of information they got is the government treasury. Treasury is the money. The government treasury is moving from local government treasury, district treasury is moving from one place to another place in a train compartment. So they decided to loot the compartment in the train, and they successfully looted at a place called Kakori. That's why it is famously called Kakori robbery case. So you write it. So they conducted Kakori robbery. This is expected question. They conducted Kakori robbery. Near Kanpur. The place called Kakori is located near Kanpur. Let me explain. This is a looting of money from that compartment of a train. Okay, it's very famous. These things, if you are from, if you have seen that famous movie, 10-15 years old movie, Rang De Vasant, of Amir Khan movie, Amir Khan, Madhavan, these kinds of people, right? If you watch it, exactly the same thing, I am reproducing it. Based on this story only, that movie has been taken. So here, the Kakori robbery. They say they successfully robbed the train. This is called the Kakori robbery. Right. After that, a case was filed that is called Kakori robbery case. The case was filed that is called Kakori robbery case. So it's a very famous case. As a law student, if you are a law student, definitely it's a age-old case studies. In that it will be quoted, but not now relevant. So listen, that government amount was looted from a compartment. That's what greatest thing. So Kakori is located near Kanpur. What happened is government got tension, and after this, note it down, heavy suppression. Note it down, heavy suppression or severe suppression. Severe suppression. Even you might have come across shoot at sight. So shoot at sight means whenever a revolution is supposed to see, the police had been given the power to shoot at sight to kill them. Even such an order was given. And many revolutionaries were imprisoned and sentenced, and because of the fear of the heavy punishment, many revolutionaries of this group, HRA group, retired. So after this incident, there was heavy suppression. That's why for a few years, it may be 4 or 5 years, for a few years, this HRA was in dormant stage. So this is the initial phase of the UP and Bihar and the Punjab group. Later what happened is, so after Kakori robbery case, there was a dormant stage. After that, this HRA was later renamed as HSRA. Note it down. So next organization is HSRA. So we are discussing in that next group. Okay. So here HRA is over. Next HSRA. Initially it was HRA. Now it was renamed as HSRA. Here the letter S is included. Type it. What could be the S? What could be the expansion of S? Any idea? Type. Swaraj, good attempt, wrong. Then socialism. Yes, exactly right. Socialist is the right. Now you expand it. So you write it. What is HSRA? Is Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. So what is HSRA? Is Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. 1928. 1928 at Feroz Kotla. Feroz Kotla. Very well known place as of now because Feroz Kotla in Delhi. Delhi, the cricket stadium, international cricket stadium is located. Earlier it was a place, it was a part of Delhi, ruined city. Normally, earlier it was ruined city. In that Feroz Kotla place in Delhi only, this organization was started. So HRA became HSRA. Who were the members of HSRA? So here only you write Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhara Azad, Sukhdev, SUKH, Sukhdev, Rajguru, so likewise, so many revolutionaries, these revolutionaries are notable. That's why keep it in mind. Don't confuse with phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is 1907 to 1917. In that V.D. Savarkar, Lala Hardayal, Subramani Shiva, likewise. Here is the Surya Sen, Bhagat Singh, likewise this group. So Bhagat Singh and the Chandrasekhar Azad, such a people belong to HSRA. So HRA, later HSRA. What were the activities of the HSRA? Two important activities that we are going to discuss. If we discuss, that's all. This part is over. What is the first activity is, so you write it, killing. These were the activities of HSRA members. Note it down. Killing of the police officer. Killing of the police officer. All were the activities of HSRA group. Sander. Police officer Sander, a British police officer. He was IPS officer range. So police officer in Lahore. In Lahore, such a police officer was killed. Why? Why such a police officer was killed? That is the important thing. So this kind, sir, I think already question. So here under Sander, you put like this. Whenever we are discussing about subsequent person, you just put like this and continue. So why he was targeted is, he was responsible, that is this Sander, was responsible for killing Lala Lajpat Rai. He was responsible for killing Lala Lajpat Rai during anti-Simon protest. During anti-Simon protest. Taken? So anti-Simon protest. What's the Simon Commission? That we will discuss. Yes, anti-Simon protest at Lahore. Now I have to discuss. You all knew very well Simon Commission. Simon Commission came to India and it was boycotted. Why? We will discuss later. Okay. Simon Commission came to India. It was boycotted. In many places, people raised a placard, "Go back, Simon." And many places, hartal. Hartal means strike, street procession. Right, group of people would walk all along the street. Nowadays, you could see in so many places throughout India, strikes are famous. Okay, anti-Simon protest. Such anti-Simon protest was also held in Lahore under the leadership of Lala Lajpat Rai. To suppress the anti-Simon protest held at Lahore under Lala Lajpat Rai, a police contingent arrived. Two officers. One is Sander. Sander is a lawyer officer. Another is the Scott. Actually, these kinds of information is not available. So Scott and two officers. Another officer is a Sander. So these two officers, what they did, order lathi charge. Okay, the policeman gave lathi charge. Even some of the blows were given to Lala Lajpat Rai. He was hospitalized. After few days, he died. So that's why, right, the Sander was targeted for killing of what person is Lala Lajpat Rai. This is important. Okay, so anti-Simon protest. What is Simon? We will discuss. This is one important thing. We'll move on to next. Yes. So next thing. So one is HSRA, the killing of Sander. And the second incident. First incident we discussed. Second incident is bomb throwing. Bomb throwing into CLA. Bomb throwing into CLA. Now CLA in Delhi. So in Delhi, two bomb throwing case. One is this bomb throwing case inside CLA, that is Central Legislative Assembly. Another one we discussed yesterday. Any idea? Bomb throwing? No, day before yesterday we discussed. Hardinge, exactly. So Hardinge from bomb throwing case to kill the viceroy. Right. Another that is inside the Central Legislative Assembly. Listen, you might have come across Parliament attack during 2009. Parliament attack happened. The terrorists tried to enter into the Parliament, right? But that attack blast happened outside the Parliament, not within inside. Even though within complex, but not within that Lok Sabha area. But here, what happened is very interesting. What they did it, Bhagat Singh and one of his friend Padukeshwar Dutt, and these two were responsible for a bomb throwing case. So note it down. One is Bhagat Singh another is Batu Keswar Dutt. Both belong to this group, HSRA group. Batu Keshwar Dutt are simply called BK Dutt. What happened is they entered into CLA, the two visitors gallery. If you visited Parliament, Lok Sabha or State Legislative Assembly, the ground floor, the members would speak, speaker, everything would be there. The first and second floor is for visitors, and they entered into visitors gallery, and that CLA meeting was going on. What they did, they threw bomb into the middle of the house. Just imagine, if you see Lok Sabha TV, the middle of the house means that is a place between the speaker and the members. It's called well of the house. So they straight away put that bomb into the well of the house. Into well of the house. So this is called bomb throwing case of CLA. That's a significant thing. So two important activities of this. But in the case of this Sanders, after killing the Sanders, the people escaped. But after bomb throwing, they didn't escape. That is important. So note it down. They didn't escape. Oh, please arrest us. In that way, they challenged. In that way, they challenged. Understood? So this is what. Now, question. 2019 or 18 preliminary question is linked with this. Listen, what it seems to be like a story, okay, but we don't have sufficient time. Even today I would complete the modern India, even if I take 4 hours or 5 hours, because I can discuss a lot. But whatever I'm discussing is just whatever I as a student I learned for 4 years, and as a staff for another 10 years. So what I learned, I'm experienced, I'm discussing of this. So never consider it's a story. Carefully listen each word. If I said some keyword, if you feel these are all the interesting word, you can note it down. Okay. So here, why such a bomb throwing into CLA? Do they want to kill any assembly members, MPs? No. Their intention is not to kill any member. Then what is the purpose? Is that's important. What happened is on the particular day, listen, yeah, two bills was taken. Bill, if bill is taken and introduced in that Sabha, and if it is passed, then it would become act. A bill would become an act. Okay. The two bills were taken. What are all the two bills? They opposed the two bills, right? Because if such two bills are passed, it would go against the interest of the Indians. So you write it. Why did they throw bomb? Is against the passage of two bill. One is public safety bill. Public safety bill. Another is the trade dispute bill. Public safety, another is trade dispute bill. Trade dispute bill is the 2018 or 17 preliminary question. Okay. So why did they oppose this? Public safety. Actually, in the name of public, later it became act. Both public safety bill and trade dispute bill became act. Why did they oppose this? The public safety, in the name of public safety, even any innocent Indian can be arrested. Okay, even his staring is against the British. From his stared eyes, even bullet would come and would kill the British, catch him, and jailed for any number of days. It's like a preventive detention. Even in the name of preventive detention, some people are misused, right, by some authorities are misusing. Likewise here, what happened is, right, public safety bill, PSA, seems to call. Understood? So even an Indian, any Indian can be arrested. So wrong, in the name of public safety. And another is the trade dispute. Here trade dispute means not trade and commerce. Trade dispute means related to trade union. Trade union. What is the purpose of the trade dispute bill is to suppress the trade union and the leftist movement. Note it down. To suppress the trade union and the leftist movement. Taken. So these are all the important thing regarding of That's why they opposed, vehemently opposed it. Not only that, they threw bomb. But they didn't escape. And they stood like this. They were arrested. These things are story. They arrested. And after that, so many other revolutionaries were also arrested. And all were jailed in Lahore. And later, what happened is, this is important. Last point you write. Simply you write, all were arrested. And at last, on 23rd March, I think this date is very famous date, especially among the youngsters. 23rd March 1931. 23rd March 1931, Bhagat Singh and his friends means comrade, Bhagat Singh and his friends were hanged. Nearly 7 other friends were hanged in Lahore jail. In Lahore jail, yes. So for what reason? For what reason this Bhagat Singh and friends were hanged is because of Lahore conspiracy case. Underline this case. What is the case? Is Lahore conspiracy case. Yes. Then I put a question to you. What is Lahore conspiracy case? Type karo. Exactly, you are right. So not bomb throwing at Delhi, but I set off that Lahore conspiracy. What is Lahore conspiracy is one student, so a few student typed of killing of Sander. So nearby you write what is bomb throwing cases, killing of Sander. So you should know, right, why these youngsters were hanged is because of killing of a police officer Sander. That's the reason. And the date you all people know, the date is called Martyrs Day. Martyr, Martyr Day. In India, 2 dates are Martyrs Day. On that date, you could see in newspaper of advertisement put forward by the government of India related to Martyrs Day. One Martyrs Day I said on 23rd March. Another Martyrs Day, any idea? Type. Exactly. Jan 30 is the right. Jan 30. Why Jan 30 is? Yeah. Huh? Kargil, no. Gandhiji's assassination, yes. These two are considered as Martyrs' Day. So especially for younger generation, you should know 23rd March 1931. This is very important. That's all. So with this, listen, these revolutionaries are over. Only one thing is, who is escaping of all the time? Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Rajguru, all were arrested and hanged. But who always escaped is Chandrasekhar Azad. Later, how was he killed is last point you write. Later, Azad was killed. No, actually, Azad was not killed. Azad committed suicide. That's the right one. Azad committed suicide in Allahabad. In Allahabad, while fighting against police. While fighting against police. Have you seen Rangde Basan movie? This is the first scene of Rang De Basan movie. It's a ever first scene from that first part to the last part. If you go through the movie, you could see entire activities of HRA and HSRA. One interesting thing of the history is everything is there in movie. If you see movie, history is very easy. After this, if you see movie, history is easy. That's all. With this, we successfully completed Swarajist. We completed another thing, revolutionary group. We completed. Move on to next one. Right. Next, write it. Simon Commission. Next is the Simon Commission. One minute. Yes. So this is the Simon Commission. Very important. What's the real name of the Simon Commission? Who appointed? This is all very important. Okay. First point. Actually, he is Sir John Simon. He was the head of the commission. That's why the commission is called the Simon Commission. And we already discussed that throughout India, hartals were conducted. This is called, I used to call hartal or street procession. And with the placard here is Simon Go Back. Likewise, throughout India, such flag showing had been conducted. Yes, under Simon Commission, wrote it down in 1927. In 1927, Secretary of State, that is SYS, simply put it, Secretary of State appointed a commission. Secretary of State, actually Secretary of State name is Lord Birkenhead. Note it down. Here. Lord Birkenhead. Birkenhead. So Barken, this one. Lord Birkenhead appointed a commission. Yes, what is the name of the commission is this. So that's why this is called. So in 1927, Lord Birkenhead appointed a commission. What is the name of the commission is this Indian Statutory Commission. Indian Statutory Commission, headed by Simon. Headed by Simon and 6 other members. That is 1 plus 6. Headed by Simon and 6 other members. That's why such a commission is called Simon Commission. There is no official name called Simon Commission. What is the real name of the commission is Indian Statutory Commission, headed by Simon and other people. That's why this is called Simon Commission. So got it? This is important. Okay. So what is the purpose of this Indian Statutory Commission is to give, you write it, recommendations, to give recommendations for further political upliftment. To give recommendations for further political upliftment. So what kind of further political measures to be taken in India? For that purpose only this commission was appointed. Okay, well and good. That concept is good, no doubt at all, because we need political upliftment. We need some political concession. But what is the issue is, its name is Indian Statutory Commission. It would work for the improvement of Indian, but not even a single member of Indians. That's the main reason for opposition. Write it. Not even a single Indian. In that 1 plus 6, altogether 7, not even a single Indian. You see that. What's interesting is, commission name is Indian Statutory Commission, but they are going to give a concession to Indian, but no Indian in this. How would they give concession? All were the white member commission. How would they know the problem of Indian? It's like this hypothesis, not hypothesis situation. Modi ji, after new education policy, he decided to improve the welfare of the women. For that, he appointed a separate National Women's Welfare Commission, right? National Women's Welfare Commission, a separate welfare commission. Whatever the problems of the women, girls, young to old, A to Z would be addressed. A commission was appointed. Welcomeable measure. But what's the thing? In the commission, all are male members. Just imagine. Not even a single woman. Then how would the male member knew the problem of this woman? Likewise, this commission. Understood? So not even a single Indian. That's what it was completely opposed. Understood? So that's the reason it was announced. Listen, in 1927, the commission was announced in London. The commission was yet to come down to India. Right. This is important. Now, listen. All that were the white member. Now Congress asked a question. Continue. Write the point. Congress asked, why no Indian? So Congress asked a question to whom? SYS. No Indian. Why no Indian? Cool answer. Cool answer from SYS. What is the cool answer from SYS? Indian didn't have any masala. Masala is the mind. This is what the cool answer from SYS. Not even a single Indian has the knowledge to become a member, because it's a very powerful group, powerful commission. Why no Indians? No masala, no mind, no knowledge. Immediately Congress got tension. Oh, you are saying like this. You see that. Gandhiji studied in your country. Nehruji also studied Cambridge. Subhash Chandra Bose cleared ICS exam. Later he resigned. But you are saying that no Indians had the gut to become the member of this Simon Commission. Immediately Lord Birkenhead challenged. Okay, if you are thinking like this, very similar to Simon, keep it in mind, this is important. Very similar to Simon Commission, you also appoint a commission. So question, you also appoint a commission. Understood? That challenge was accepted. So next point you write it. Even better to like flowchart. No Indian in the commission. Congress asked why. Birkenhead answered in a cool way. Indian didn't have knowledge. And Birkenhead challenged INC. So INC accepted the challenge. What is the challenge is you also appoint, set up a commission and you also give a report. INC accepted that one and that led to the appointment of Motilal Nehru as a committee member. Not Jawaharlal Nehru, Motilal Nehru. Right? Actually, this Motilal Nehru and his group, they behaved like a Simon Commission and they gave a report. That report is called Nehru Report. That report is called Nehru Report. This is important. 1928. Simon Commission was announced in 1927. SYS challenge that led to Nehru Report. Understood? So this is very interesting thing related to this Simon Commission. So without Simon Commission, you can't study Nehru Report. No, I can say like this. If no Simon Commission, no Nehru Report. Now we have to discuss the topic Nehru Report. Open the subtopic Nehru Report. So Simon Commission Nehru Report, to study it, these are all very famous. Here Nehru is Motilal Nehru. Yes, why Nehru Report I discussed because of blah 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 and Simon Commission or Indian we discussed. What is the significance? What are all the provisions of Nehru Report? This is polity actually, pure polity. In Lakshmikant first unit or second unit itself, this report has been mentioned along with 1919 Act and Simon Commission. Simon Commission and Nehru reports are pure polity concept, polity related one. Right. What are the provisions of Nehru Report? Nearly 7 to 8 are there. Here I will give 3 to 4. Remaining things you just try study in the spectrum book. Factualize, please don't study. Useless. Okay. You can easily understand where a concept. Some people are studying the personality, war, battle. Useless. No need of such a thing. Yes. What are all the provisions? Is first point. Fundamental rights. So in Nehru Report, fundamental rights was mentioned. And this itself is the question. What the question is? Actually, this is the first document drafted by Indian related to fundamental rights. In our constitution, much earlier, that was drafted by Constituent Assembly, right, much later. But here, much earlier to the Constitution Assembly, that fundamental rights was mentioned, that too drafted by an Indian is, that's in Nehru Report. It's the first point. Taken? Yeah. Second is linguistic based states. It means that Congress much earlier itself accepted of linguistic based states. Much earlier itself is accepted. That's why even after independence, Congress decided to give language based, linguistic based state. It's the second important. Understood? Second, third is dominion status to Indian. Third is dominion status to India. Status to Indian. What is dominion status? That is Swaraj, all self-government, this thing. Understood? And fourth point is no separate electorate system. It means that Congress was against a separate electorate system. So likewise, some more information, some more points were mentioned in the Nehru report. Yes, all are welcomed. No separate electorate system, very good. So that no divide and rule concept. A linguistic based state, yes, we have the cultural plurality is there, right? Because India is known for cultural diversity, especially linguistic diversity, right? All the language are equal, Right, equally be respected, correct. Second thing, third thing is fundamental rights. Yes, that even from Nehru report only we took the fundamental rights into our constitution of India, right? But only one questionable one is dominion status. So dominion status are outdated one, very outdated one. We asked who asked dominion status first. Type dominion status mean here I use our dominion status. It has so many words, other words. Who are the first to ask dominion status? Try moderates. Absolutely wrong. Extremists were the first to ask dominion status. In the name of what? What they called? Okay, no. I'm asking. Dominion, Swaraj. Extremists were the first to ask 2018. If I answer moderates, that's all. 2018, one question. Flap. 2018 question. Swaraj, Swadeshi, Boycott. These were the programs were used by which of the following people? Moderates, extremists, Gandhian, revolutionaries. Likewise, answer is extremist. Simplest question. That's why I'm giving much interesting importance to the concept oriented than the factual thing, because UPSC preliminary itself, they are not at all asking that factual information. War, for example, Battle of Ambur, when happened? UPSC would never ask. Even first Carnatic War, between which two years, would never ask. Damn sure I'm clear. Okay, don't study that each year, useless. But then what you have to study? First Carnatic War, 1740s. Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey, if you know very well, good, 1757. Otherwise, UPSC would never ask when Battle of Plassey happened, when third Mysore War happened, when third Maratha War happened. Why then? Why did you give, sir? For understanding purpose, I given. That's why I'm saying. I said again and again. For chronology purpose alone, I am giving the year. Once we understood the chronology, discard the year. Useless for UPSC. Okay, 1800s enough. 1900s, 1830s, that's enough. Because many are over into people. Now only classes are started. They wish to study each and nook and corner. Don't. Concept, keep it in mind. That's all. This is what Nehru report and Simon Commission. Now listen. Simon Commission was announced in London. I had to discuss about in India. So that's all. With this Nehru report is over. Better to put a Nehru report within the box. Put it. Now come back to Simon Commission. Next point, completely come out of Nehru report. You write in 1929-8, Simon Commission came to India. So 27 it was announced. In 28 it came to India. It came to India. Okay. So and with the boycott slogan. What is the boycott slogan? Almost right. You write it with boycott slogan. Go back, Simon. So throughout India, anti-Simon protest happened with the slogan "Go back." Yourself consider. I am also part and parcel. You consider that I am standing. You are standing here along with this leader. Then only you could enjoy. Otherwise, you are sitting in a home or standing somewhere else and simply noting down. You can't. As if you are inside the moment. For example, bomb throwing case, you should also be along with Bhagat Singh and Badukeshwar Dutt. Then only you could perceive, right. So you could view, perception, have an idea. Otherwise, mechanical study useless. So you have to imagine it. If you are studying civil disobedience movement, Salt Satyagraha, you should also go along with the Gandhi from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi in the name of Dandi March. You should imagine. That's why I said, whoever has imaginative power and whoever is ready to have the basic English and discuss studying history is a good subject. So in this, go back, Simon. And listen, many places anti-Simon Hartal. At one place, Lahore, under Lala Lajpat Rai, Lathi charge, killing, we already discussed. So last what happened is, listen, Simon Commission came to India and discussed with some other party, and last it gave recommendations. That you note it down. What were the recommendations of Simon Commission? What were the recommendations? Recommendation of Nehru report is over. Now recommendations of the Simon Commission. Shall we start? Yes. Actually, both Nehru report recommendations, Simon Commission recommendations are so important. I am not going to discuss recommendation. So you do one thing. You leave some space for writing 4 points. 4 points wise. Actually, quarter of your page you leave it regarding recommendations. You go and copy paste. So here itself you leave. Right. What's only one point I am going to discuss is, listen, after the quarter of leaving it, after that you write it, its recommendations were accepted by government and included into 1935 Act. So only for this, the Simon Commission is important. If you want to know 1935 Act, no sir, already recommended by Simon, that alone were included into part and parcel of the 1935. So Simon Commission recommendations were also included, and that is the basis for 1935 Act. This is the method of study. You might have simply considered as a Simon Commission, but the concept is entirely different when compared to the other. Yes. So here 1935 Act. This is what of the significance. So you have to study holistically. If no Simon Commission, no Nehru report. If no Simon Commission, no killing of Lala Lajpat Rai. If no killing of Lala Lajpat Rai, no hanging of Bhagat Singh and Sukhdev. Likewise, you have to put it inside the framework. Though we are discussing it a separate way, you have to club it together after studying once or twice. So thus we successfully completed the fourth event. So Swaraj Party over, revolutionaries over, Simon Commission over, Nehru report over, right? And only one thing is there, that is that a great economic depression. That is a world history topic. It's a pure great economic depression. In world history it would be discussed. So you go back to this topic wise, go back. So just one line or 2 line explanation alone I will give it. Here remaining it will be discussed. As I said yesterday, asked a question. So here what I will discuss here is, listen, for optional wise history I will handle. Optional history completely, world history, everything I will handle. Top to bottom I will handle it. Ancient, medieval, modern, world history, art and culture, everything I will handle it in optional history. But related to GS history, right, of ancient, medieval, modern, right, art and culture, PIC and world history, only I will handle of the modern India and the PIC part. So remaining thing will be discussed by the respective staff, right? So in GS, I will handle the modern India. Today is the last class of the modern India. Once modern India classes are over, next I will come in the next year, because after that ancient, medieval, everything should be over, and the PIC portion is the last portion, right? Because if you know everything of the history, then you could easily understand the PIC, because it's a very current Nehru, Indira era, Rajiv era, Narasimha Rao era, that I have to discuss of this. So regarding optional, I will handle everything, including world history, everything. But in GS, I will handle modern and PIC topic, because yesterday one student asked it. Yes. So today I will try to complete this portion. In this great economic depression, it happened in Wall Street in New York. Wall Street in New York, this happens. So what is great economic represent so and so world history concept, and come to this one, rise of left wing. Yes, this we have to discuss. Open the topic, rise of left wing. At last I come to Lahore session. Open. Rise of left wing. Yes, it is none other than communists. Just 2 or 3, just a brief explanation about the communist here. I should discuss about this. Yes, when Communist Party of India was started, any idea? When Communist Party of India was started? And one thing, if you are properly dressed, right, then you may come to screen. You can open your video. If improperly dressed, then even t-shirt is also is okay, good. Otherwise, don't come to the video. Yeah, because in the initial class we asked to hide the videos, to disable the video, right? After that, no one is ready to come, so it does not mean that. So if you wish to come, please you may come, because in almost all the class no one is ready to come, and we are also getting how many students are there, right? So if you are properly dressed, if you have this, then you may come, please. No one is, because initially many came, after that left it, right? So no need to bother about it. So here, rise of left wing. In the case of rise of left wing, any idea of communist party? Here, even any communist comrade? Huh? 1925, exactly. 19. Who answered? 1929 wrong. 1925 is right. 1925 right. Actually, two different views are there. What is the two different views is, present day Communist Party of India is that Marxist communist is there, right? Two views are there. So you write it, Communist Party of India, CPI in 1920 at a place called Tashkent it was created. Tashkent. So it was created, started in Tashkent, now in Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan capital was the, place is the Tashkent, important city where it was created. But it is outside India, okay? But inside India, one aspirant answered in a right way, that is exactly right, 1925, note it down. In 1925, the same CPI was started inside India. The same CPI was started inside India at Kanpur. So outside India is Tashkent, inside India at Kanpur, but members are the same. Whoever the member started in Tashkent, the same member started in Kanpur also. Who are the notable people here is, in both the case, note it down, one is M.N. Roy. Actually, M.N. Roy was very notable person. Actually, full name is Manabendranath Roy. Simply, you note it down, M.N. Roy. Right, first. Second is Singaravelu. So many people, nearly 20 plus people are there, but most notable is M.N. Roy. Manabendranath Roy was very famous, notable person of this CPI. So why the CPI is noted down? Because of USSR, write it. Because of Russian Revolution, write it. Because of Russian Revolution, this communism concept started to rise. You all knew very well of this. What is the first communist country of the world? Which is the first communist country of the world? Russia. Yes, Russia, the first communist country of the world. In 1911, Vladimir Lenin, you know very well, Lenin, Stalin, then Nikita Khrushchev, so many people. It was Lenin in 1917 who made the Russia the first communist country. So he made it 1917. After that only the concept of communism started to rise length and breadth of the world, and so many communist parties were started throughout India, throughout world. In that, one communist party was started in India. Do you know? Likewise, Communist Party of China was created. Communist Party of Cuba was created. Communist Party in many African countries were also created. Likewise, here CPI was created first at Tashkent in 1920, later in 1925 at Kanpur. So these are all important things. Keep it in mind. Because Communist, very powerful party throughout India. One after Congress and BJP, one party which has the stronghold throughout India. Right. In in Kerala, which Communist Party? Type it. Kerala people parayum. Which Communist? Leftist na. In leftist CPI, CPM, Marxist Leninista or Maoista? Marxist. Okay. In West Bengal earlier. Now Mamata ji is the Trinamool Congress is there earlier. Have you come across the great stalwart Jyoti Basu, Buddhadev Bhattacharya? What, Supriyo? Marxist communist. Am I right? Some Marxist communists are famous. Actually, in Tamil Nadu, if you are from Tamil Nadu, Marxists are not famous. In Tamil Nadu, CPI is famous actually. When compared to Marxist, CPI, the core wing is famous. I think if you are from Tamil Nadu, you might have come across the people called Ramakrishnan. Such a people are there. Nallakannu, whether you come across it, I don't know exactly. These people are CPI. Another group is the Maoist. Maoist a terrorist group in left-wing extremism. If you from Jharkhand, anyone from Jharkhand? No one. Chhattisgarh, Orissa. Okay, so here in this area, the left-wing extremism, LTE concept. LTE is there. This is all very famous. In this area, Maoist. So likewise, now we do have so many communists, but earlier only one communist in the name of Communist Party of India. So you should know. Okay, now I will ask question. When INC was created, all new, because in classroom itself I discussed. When BJP was started as a party, type INC, okay, I already discussed. When BJP was started as a party? 1980, exactly, super. If you only 1980, the young stalwarts, no, not in 1970s, 1980s exactly. The great Atal Bihari Vajpayee, L.K. Advani, Murali Manohar Joshi, I think, yes, including Murali Manohar Joshi, like this stalwarts started the party, right, called the BJP. So likewise CPI, and when if you are from Tamil Nadu, when DMK, ADMK, major party, if you are from Kerala, so you should know many important. Anyone from Karnataka? Kannadiga? Kannadiga is there or not? When JD was created? JDS was created. Janata Dal Secular. Because it's a famous party in Karnataka. Any idea? Okay. Likewise, kindly go through of this. You should know politics. Politics is very important, yeah. So don't simply study Lakshmikant. If you study Lakshmikant, that is theoretical. What is practical is politics. Polity is different. Politics is different. Polity is studying constitution. Politics is what you are doing. Practical. Okay. So without knowing politics, polity not seems to be good. Yes, that's all. Rise of left-wing concept. And last, I open the topic. Note it down. Lahore session of Congress. This is the last one. That is last one between 1922 to 1930. We are here. 22 to 1930. That is the last Lahore session of Congress. Yes. Here Congress session. that is a Congress meeting. As I said, since 1885, every year Congress would conduct ET session. Every year Congress would conduct. Which month it would conduct it? December month. This is all extra information, kindly note it down. December month, that right, last year, last 3 days. So last month, last 3 days, 29, 30, 31. Right, 29, 30, 31. So every year, last month, last 3 days, Congress would conduct a session, right, in various places. One such a session was held at Lahore in 1929. Okay, this information you should know. One. Second, every year there should be a president. And who was the president here? A person standing here, Jawaharlal Nehru. Here, Jawaharlal Nehru. So, president of the session. Okay, what is the important resolutions or important thing? Write all the four. Right? And by heart it. 2014 preliminary question. Here, this is exactly preliminary question. One is to attain Purna Swaraj. I have to discuss one by one. Okay. Purna Swaraj is complete independence. It means that complete independence. This is what important. Earlier, Congress aim was to attain Swaraj. Extremist onwards mean 1906. 1905. 1905 onwards, the aim of the Congress was to attain Swaraj. But now, first time, hereafter Swaraj. Swaraj is outdated, old model. We don't want Swaraj. Hereafter, the only aim of the Congress was to attain Purna Swaraj. So keep it in mind. Next 15 years, we are going to discuss about this point. What the point? Congress would start any movement it wanted and it demand for what is Purna Swaraj. For that purpose only, it would start all other movements. So keep it in mind. Again and again, I would never say, hereafter, whatever the movement, I would simply say aim. Yourself write the aim. Automatically you would write, it's like a Swaraj. Okay. Second is very interesting. Jan 26 to be celebrated as Independence Day. Sir, as of now, we are celebrating it as a Republic Day, but in 1929 Lahore session, it was decided to celebrate as Independence Day. This is very interesting. Do you know? Today, why do we celebrate Jan 26 as Republic Day is because of Lahore session. You should know of this. Okay, actually, we decided to celebrate Jan 26 as Independence Day, but Mountbatten, bloody Mountbatten, gave August 15 as Independence Day. That's why we forced to treat Jan 26 as another day, that is Republic Day. And do you know who is the first Prime Minister of India? Jawaharlal Nehru. He was the president of the Congress. So he wanted to maintain the date which is famous to him. That's why Jawaharlal Nehru made it as a Republic Day. Even I could say like this also interpretation. So we have to ask Modi ji. Modi ji, Jan 26 is the Congress Day. Congress declared day. Change karo. Right, change some to, because it is decided in a Congress session. All should know history. Do you know why do we study history? If you don't know, for here a person, Aravind name alone is there. Okay, Aravind is there. Right. Aravind should know his father name. Right, he should know grandfather name, and 5 generation, 6 generation he should know. If he does not know, he is not at all. very good person. Do you know? For example, my name is Saradamurthy. Right, I should know my parents' name. If I don't know parent name, I am an ugly person. Born to whom? Question. So history is vital. Where is my origin is important. I should know my grandparents. I should know my origin. Otherwise, I am rootless person. If you want to know your if you want to know your future and your strength, you should know history. So history is not just for mugging up. And history would completely revamp a generation. Okay, wrong way of teaching history would land into the wrong future society. And misinterpretation of history would lead to war, would lead to ideological differences. So that's why, do you know, whenever sea change to be brought means immediately history textbook will be changed, because science is fixed. Science is fixed. You can't change science. Am I right? Wherever, even if in Tamil Nadu, H2 plus O, if you mix it, you will get water. Okay? Whatever the government or whatever the party, even if I said, even I don't know about science. Even for me also, if it is given H2 plus O, water would. Even if you go to Antarctica, H2 plus O, water. Even 2020 also the same formula. 3000 also the same formula. No one can change it. Am I right? But history wise can change. Once upon, nowadays Akbar is a good person. After few years, Akbar may be a bad person. If interpretation is like this. Am I right? Nowadays Naragasuran may be a wrong person. After few years, Naragasuran may be a good person. Am I right? But not today. Whenever, if you add H2 plus O, it would never become HCl. Am I right? It would never become H2NO3. H2 plus O is always H2O. And that's why history should be taken. Right. That's the reason with so many restrictions I'm discussing. If one wrong word, one wrong information may go wrong of anything. These kind of things will be tested in interview part. Yeah, because yesterday only interview are over. This year interview, last 10 days is over. One of my students went, they're asking question like this, interpretative question. He just discussed with me after how was that interview. At the time he said that, sir, they are asking interpretative questions. How do you think of the leader here? How do you think of this leader here? Right, likewise the questions, whether this leader is good or bad. What do you feel, whether this measure is good or right? Do you know today what you take may be correct, 5 years later the same measure is wrong. Am I right? 10 years later the same measure would be criticized. What you have done today will be criticized later. And best example, Kashmir issue. Nowadays Kashmir issue we are criticizing Congress, but 1947 when Nehruji took it, that is a right issue, correct one, but later it was criticized. 1962 China war, at the time also measure was taken was good, but later it was criticized. Actually history is like this. So as far as possible, I try to confine to the factual information, standardized one, without going for any negative or positive interpretation, or if it is interpretative wise, I would give the constructive criticism. I would never go for destructive criticism. Criticism are good. Constructive criticism is always good rather than destructive criticism. Okay, beyond that I don't want to discuss. It will be much earlier to be there, sir. Jan 26. So hereafter, if you are asked why Jan 26 is 1929, Congress decided to keep Jan 26 as an Independence Day, but Mountbatten gave August 15. That's why to cherish the date of Jan 26, the Congress, the first the government decided to keep Jan 26. So hereafter, if you are being asked of the question, why Jan 26 as a Republic Day, holiday, chocolate, cake would be given means you will be slapped. Okay, so hereafter you have to say because of this. And last is why August 15? What is the significance of August 15? Why did Mountbatten give August 15 as Independence Day? Any auspicious day? Otherwise his lover's birthday? Otherwise his daughter's birthday? Otherwise British crown birthday on August 15? Why? Try to find it out. So as a history student, hereafter if some people ask why August 15, Jan 26, this is the reason for that. And third is tricolor flag. Tricolor flag is the same color. There's no much different. The same was hoisted first time. You continue the point. Was hoisted first time in a Congress session. It might have hoisted some other place, but first time it was hoisted in a Congress session in the Lahore. And the last is Congress decided to launch a grand movement. So in that Lahore session only, Congress showed flag. Gandhiji, please start karo a new movement. What is a new movement? Gandhiji next year would start because 1929 Congress decided to start the CDM. So 1930 we have to start the mass movement. So with this we successfully completed the 8 long years history. Over. This is the method of study. Since it's the last class, I would never go rush up. Even if it's at, some portions are yet to taken. Next week, I will come to take further 1 or 2 hours. That doesn't matter because this area is very important. Last class seems to be that I would never rush it up. Yes, next, open the topic. And whenever I supposed to say new topic, open in a new page. Don't show your conjures of writing it in that corner of your page. Otherwise, last line of a page. Okay? Because some students are there. If you are in the class, I would myself would see that how you are taking notes, how your handwriting is there. Since you are your home, I can't see your. I can't come to your home to see your class notes. That's why I'm saying like this. The class, if the class means I would have completely changed. Right. Next, civil disobedience movement. Capital letter 1930, 1934. 1930, 1934. Yes, just a few minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, then I will give break. So today, as we discussed, the class is up to 3 hours. Definitely, I can't complete it up to 3 hours. I try to complete whatever up to 3 hours. If it's not possible, next week, though my class is not at all there for your batch. So any one of the day I will come just for an hour and I will conclude the remaining part. And many asked about history optional subject. Wait it. Next month we will start it. This month we will start it. One demo session would be there. You attend at the time. I will discuss with that. I don't want to discuss in this itself because we don't have time. So please wait it. And how about that plus minus so and so about that optional? One day I will come to take a demo class, right? At the time you may ask question. So 1930, 1934. Yes. First, why? Whenever a movement, why? Why? Right. What are all the events? What led to civil disobedience movement? No, yeah. Why? Lahore session of Congress. First point. No, why? I'm not at all asking aim. One is Lahore session. Second, Simon Commission failure. Next, Simon Commission. Yes, next, Great Economic Depression and economic issue. Yeah, exactly. So Simon Commission report failure, no Indian. Nehru report significant. Third is Great Economic Depression that affected India. The same thing what we discussed earlier. Last is Lahore session of Congress. Gandhiji was released from jail. That was not a cause. After coming out of the jail, he decided to start it. Gandhiji was released. That's why he started CDM. You are right. Yes. Why is over? I think what is the concept of why is last 5 year. Whatever even happened last 5 year, if you write why is over. Okay. Next template is aim. Yes. What's the aim? Purna Swaraj. That's all. Aim, innovate. Because now only I discussed. Next is method of struggle. Yes, next is method of struggle. Any idea? Method of struggle. Try your level best. Dandi March. Yes, right. Dandi March. Then disobey law. Which laws are disobeyed? Any idea? May breaking the law. Which laws are disobeyed? Salt. Okay, correct. Then any right. Ah, yes. Actually, the name itself is there. In the uh, movement itself is there. What is method is right. Civil disobedience. Write it. So what is the method of struggle is civil disobedience. What nonsense, sir. Movement civil disobedience. Method of struggle is this civil disobedience. That's everyone knew very well of this. In the same way I have given. If you see non-cooperation movement, what is method of struggle? Non-cooperation. What is non-cooperation? I discussed. Likewise, here method of struggle is civil disobedience. What is civil disobedience is, note it down. Civil laws are disobeyed. Civil laws are disobeyed. Actually, civil disobedience movement alone would go for half an hour because 4 years of history I have to discuss. At least for half an hour I have to discuss. Yeah. What is civil laws are disobeyed? So and so. Break. 10 minutes break. Then we will discuss. Because after again 1.5 hour is there. So energize yourself. Come back. third is the method of struggle is a civil disobedience. What is civil disobedience? Is civil laws are disobeyed. Law are of two kind. This is law, legal wise. One is criminal law, another is the civil law. Gandhiji would never disobey criminal law because he is a ahimsavadi. He was not a himsavadi. So he never touched criminal law and it would never be disobeyed. That's damn sure. But he decided to disobey civil law. So law of two kind, civil law and criminal law. Gandhiji took to disobey civil law. Actually, what is the full name of the movement is Civil Law Disobedience Movement. Shortly, we use it called Civil Disobedience Movement. For example, if you refuse to pay IT, income tax, civil law. It's a major thing, civil law. Correct? But at the same time, if you slapped the nearby person, it is criminal law. You will be jailed for criminal. If you refuse to pay IT, you will not be jailed initially. You will be penalized. So civil laws are less in nature. Criminal laws are more dangerous to the society. So Gandhiji, a ahimsavadi, never touched criminal law. So decided to touch civil law. That's why it is called civil law were disobeyed. That's all. If you understood, very easy. Keep it in mind. Yesterday a student asked, what's the difference between non-cooperation and civil disobedience? Non-cooperation is no way disobeyed civil law. Right? But here they deliberately disobeyed the civil law. Should not go this side, I will go. Okay? You should not produce salt, I will produce. But non-cooperation, both civil and civil laws, criminal laws are obeyed. Only thing I would not cooperate. For example, listen, in all the state, in India, all the state has their own state transport corporation. In Tamil Nadu Trades Corporation. Kerala State Transport Corporation. If you refuse to go to travel in that state transport corporation, will you be jailed? No. Will you be penalized? No. All the people should travel only in that state government bus. That is not civil disobedience. That is not criminal. Only thing, you are boycotting the government transport bus. Am I right? That is non-cooperation. No, I would not travel in your bus. Non-cooperation. But what is civil disobedience? I will travel in the government bus, but I would not take ticket. This is civil disobedience. What is criminal disobedience? I would slap on the conductor's face. Then you will be jailed. So non-cooperation is different. Civil disobedience is different. Am I right? Yesterday, aspirant asked it. Now I hope I answered by this way. Yes. What are all the civil? Yes. So many civil laws are there. One, you write it. Under civil laws, what kind of civil laws Gandhiji disobeyed it? One is salt law. Under the method of struggle, you write salt law. Second, non-payment of tax. Non-payment of tax. Not working. For example, I have to work in the government office. No, why should I work? Then disciplinary action would be taken. But do you know, if you are an IAS officer, if you didn't go to your office where you will be jailed, no. Then you will be dismissed. That's all. Okay, you dismiss me. So you can't jail me. If you are an IAS officer, if you are not at all going to office, for that next day government can't arrest you to put into jail. So civil laws are like this. So first method of struggle of civil disobedience is, so civil laws are disobeyed. Second method of struggle is non-cooperation. Note it down. So keep it in mind. Here also non-cooperation is included. But in non-cooperation movement, only non-cooperation. But civil disobedience movement, both civil laws were disobeyed as well as non-cooperation. That's why I am saying, don't confuse with the non-cooperation and non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement 1920-22. Non-cooperation can be done at any time. Even in that, only one name is visible to me. Arvind alone is there. Okay, other names I can't see in the screen. There's so many people. One Trivandrum student is there. Apart from that, I think Trivandrum student, right? Apart from that, I couldn't see any people. Even in the classroom, in that Aravind can do non-cooperation. Don't confuse with 19, 20, 22. Even you could, all the student can do non-cooperation, all the student can do civil disobedience, even all the student can do quit India also. What's the thing? I ask question. Student. No one is answering. What is the thing? Non-cooperating. You are not at all cooperating with me. Okay, that is non-cooperation movement. What is civil disobedience movement? I am asking you. No, don't enable your mic. Disturbing. All enable the mic. Full of, it's like a fish market. It means that you are disobeying the classroom etiquette. That is called civil disobedience. Another thing is, I am insisting, Arvind, listen the class. Don't see nearby who are all there. Right? Don't see the people or don't interact with your family. Sir, I would do like this. If you don't like, I am going out of the class. It means that quit class movement, like quit India movement, quitting that video and escaping, that's called quit class. So anyone can do non-cooperation, anyone can do civil disobedience, anyone can do quit. Right? So here the second method of struggle is the non-cooperation. These are all method of struggle. Next, course of action. Fourth template. Fourth template is the course of action. Yes. In that course of action only, first point, he started CDM. Hereafter simply, civil disobedience movement, simply you write CDM. He started CDM with the Dandi March. Started CDM with the Dandi March. Exactly the way I noted. I think all can see this route. Right. So he started CDM with the Dandi March. Right. Dandi March means from which place to which place, sir? Here is the Sabarmati. From Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi. In that itself it's mentioned. The red is the travel route. I think visible to all the people, right? That okay, good. So here this is what the line Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi. So CDM was started with the Dandi march, and at Dandi, Gandhiji disobeyed salt law. So what is the purpose of the Dandi march is to disobey salt law. That's why it is called salt satyagraha. So Dandi march, salt law, salt satyagraha. Keep this in mind. Then you are in civil disobedience movement. Right. Gandhiji went to Dandi, and actually this is what exactly the Dandi march. Gandhiji and the band of his followers, and handfully picked up some 72 people or 80 people, and he went for march of 370 plus kilometers and reached the Gujarat coastal line of the Dandi, and himself produced, listen, himself produced the salt. This is important. And thus he disobeyed the salt law. Sir, he produced the salt. How did he disobey salt law? Is salt was monopoly of the state. Write it. This is the answer. Salt was monopoly of the state. So Gandhiji produced, thus he disobeyed. Monopoly. I think monopoly wise you knew very well. So as per salt law, government alone could produce the salt. Otherwise, you have to get license from the government to produce the salt. But Gandhiji never got license. Himself went, picked up. I picked up it. Thus obeyed your monopoly license. If you want to arrest me, if you want to jail me, please do it. These keywords, note it down. Okay, this is called salt law Dandi march. It's a very famous. Now question is there. So why salt as a weapon? This is very important. So what is Dandi march? I said. What is salt law? As per salt law, salt should be manufactured only by government, monopoly. Gandhiji broke the monopoly. Even today, currency monopoly. Who alone could print the currency? Government. If you print the currency, you will be jailed. Counterfeit coins. These are all called counterfeit coins. You will be jailed. Now it is a criminal offense. But even if it is a criminal offense, if you come down to some of the places, some unscrupulous people in Sivagasi like area where the very paperwork is there are some people are printing the coin and the currencies that is very similar to the Nasik. Right? So here, why salt as the weapon is whether you are from slum, whether you are from Banjara Hills in Hyderabad, Banjara Hills, it's a very famous hills. If you are from Andhra Pradesh region, Otherwise, Koramangala in Karnataka, otherwise, Poyas Garden, otherwise, in Delhi, which place is very famous, otherwise, Chandigarh, Sector 9 or Sector 10. Likewise, these are all hotspot of the places in each metropolitan city. Otherwise, if you are from Bombay, any Mumbaikar, if you are from Mumbaikar, Bandra region, or Bandra, the Gurla complex, that's a hotspot. Right? So here, this monopoly was broke. Why salt? Whether you are from slum or from that Crorepati, all should use a salt. Now Gandhi took the salt as a weapon. It would affect all the people. All the people would support the Gandhiji. That's the only reason. For example, if Gandhiji took non-payment of land rent mean only peasant alone would participate CDM. If Gandhiji had taken non-payment of income tax, only the working group alone would participate. But Gandhiji took salt. All the people should eat salt. That's why he got the support of all the people. That's the reason he took salt as a weapon. Salt Satyagraha. Over. This is the first one. Second, listen. Gandhiji successfully conducted the salt Satyagraha. Listen. After that, he was on the way. Carefully listen. From Dandi to the nearby a place called Darshana. Carefully listen. Here also a government factory was there. He decided to do salt Satyagraha. Listen, in that factory, but on the way, Gandhiji was arrested. Next point. After Dandi March, these are all course of action. After Dandi March, Gandhiji was arrested. While he was on the way to perform salt Satyagraha in Darasana. Darasana is a place where a government factory is there. Here. So in the beginning of the 1930, you listen. 1930 only movement was started. After Dandi March, immediately Gandhiji was arrested. But in non-cooperation movement, Gandhiji was arrested at the end of the movement. But the CDM, Gandhiji was arrested in the beginning of the month. Likewise, you have to interpret the various movements and the comparative analysis. Okay. Now, Gandhiji was not there. But even without Gandhiji, such a Satyagraha happened. Under whose leadership is, you write it. But under Sarojini Naidu, such a salt Satyagraha happened at Darsana. You write it. This is preliminary question. Under Sarojini Naidu, this Satyagraha happened. If you are in the classroom, I would have discussed so many jokes and at all. But here it's difficult because you are far away and reality-wise it's difficult. Once you come back, if you have interactive time, again we shall. Because anyhow we have to discuss that. Whoever wish to attend again, once attending itself is the boring, am I right? In the case of history-wise, again of attending, no sir, I never would think of again attending it. Okay, so if you wish to attend again, I think so again the session would be conducted November or December, you may come. So in this, the Darshana Salt Satyagraha under Sarojini Naidu. Already mains question has been asked. This is expected perhaps. Okay, this is in all India level, that is in national level. Now you come to regional level, other part. In Madras province, you write it. In Madras area, this is the Madras area. In Madras area, salt satyagraha under Rajagopalachari, 2015 preliminary question. In Madras area under Rajagopalachari, salt satyagraha. Between which two places is Trichy? Here is the Trichy. Trichy to here is a place called Vedaranyam. So Trichy to Vedaranyam. Here Sabarmati to Dandi, here is Trichy to Vedaranyam. Under Rajagopalachari, salt satyagraha. Next, in Kerala, under the leadership of K. Kelappan, there is a Congress leader called K. Kelappan. Under Congress leader K. Kelappan, between which two places? Here is the Calicut to Payanur. That's located in northern part of Payanur is, I think so, in the northern part, correct? Northern part of Kerala, it's located. Calicut to Payanur under K. Kelappan, salt satyagraha happened. So these are all other area. Right. Now listen. If the people are residing in the coastal region here, in this region, it is easy for them to do salt satyagraha. But you imagine, if the people are here, because this is also before 1947, this is also India, up to Pakistan. Listen, if the people are here, is it possible for them to do salt satyagraha? Because they need to access sea. Yes, they can march up to here, am I right? But before coming to Karachi, 1947, India would have got independence. It's difficult for them to walk up to such a long distance. Otherwise, if the people are in Assam, if they wanted to have a salt satyagraha, that's all. 2020 would come by that time. It's difficult. I'm saying that, okay? It's difficult for them. That's why what Gandhiji said that if you couldn't access coastal region, for example, here, in this area, you take your own local issues. No need to perform salt satyagraha because non-access of coastal area. That's why two area where other movements took place because it's impossible for performing salt satyagraha. One is, you write, in Assam, next course of action, write it. In Assam, tea workers agitated. Tea workers and students agitated, not just tea workers, both. And students agitated because in Assam region, if you see, student movement is very famous. Very, very famous is the student movement. They agitated, right, under the leadership of Sen Gupta, right? Who was the leader in this is Sen Gupta. Full name is J.M. Sen Gupta. Simply you note it down. Why tea worker agitated? No need of this because of it's like a indentured labor, bonded labor system in tea estate. These things, no need to discuss of this. Why did student agitate? Because of strict norms of government. Do you know? Student should not do politics. Even many are saying that students means should not do politics, they should concentrate. But I will ask question. Many are saying that, many political parties are saying that student, what is the meaning of student? Whoever studying as the student, especially college student. If you want to enter into college 18 years, am I right? From 18 years up to 25 years, you are in student. Many are studying up to 25 years. Students should not enter into politics. Okay, good. But my question is, why do you give voting rights at 18? Many political parties are saying that, no, students, college students should not. Then you do one thing, you increase the voting right to 25. You want vote from us, but we should not speak politics. Is it right? Nowadays, this trend is there. If students raised anything of political issue, no, students should concentrate. Students should not come to politics. They are voting. If they are voting, that at the moment itself they entered into politics. So many political parties wanted their vote, but they don't want their agitation. Is it right or wrong? Especially in JNU, DU, many students are having the affiliation. No, students is wrongly diverted by political parties. Then do one thing, change that, bring Constitution Amendment Act, right, and bring a bill that whoever is a student should don't have voting rights. Then no student would open the mouth. Am I right? If I vote, I would criticize. Accept my view or not? Yes. So why I'm saying is, students means they went against government. Now another important is come to here. In Northwestern Frontier Province, in that map itself you could see, Northwestern Frontier Province at a place called Peshawar. This is expected question. 2020 preliminary itself I am expecting is, if not asked in this October, when you are writing, definitely this is expected question. In Northwestern Frontier Province at a place called Peshawar, right, red shirt movement. Red shirt movement, because the movement organizer and volunteers used to wear red shirt. Okay, they used to wear, that movement is called red shirt. Then what is the real name of the movement? Is its movement name is Khudai. I am writing here, Khudai Khidmatkar. This is the real name of the movement. Actually, it's a Pashtun language. In Afghanistan area, there is a local language called Pashtun. In that language, what is the meaning of that Khudai Khidmatkar? Is within bracket you write servants of God. That is the English translation. Khudai Khidmatkar is the servants of God. Yes, this people used to wear red shirt. That's why they are called red shirt movement. Who was the leader? Everything is question. Everything is most important question. The personality is important, right? Who was the person? Is under Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Very important personality under his leadership. Taken? Yes. This is part and parcel of the civil disobedience movement in 1930, 31, 32 when CDM was going on. In other places, Salt Satyagraha, here red shirt movement under this leadership. And even do you know, Gandhiji visited. Gandhiji later, not now, Gandhiji later visited this area. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, 6 plus feet. Myself is a 6 feet. He is even taller to me. Such a very big. Gandhiji is very small like that. It's like a Gulliver and Lilliput. Likewise, because such a photo is there in major textbook, it will be like this. Since, listen, this Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, listen, brought the Gandhian idea, developed the Gandhian idea in the frontier region. That's why he was famously called Frontier Gandhi. Note it down. So what is the title given to whom? Is the Frontier Gandhi. Because in frontier region, if he promoted the Gandhian ideology. That's the reason. So likewise, in 1930, itself the movement was going like this. It's like a tsunami tide. Right, a tsunami wise, it's like this. It's uncontrolled. Government is completely perplexed. One information I wish to give. Who was the viceroy when CDM was started? Go back to the first line of the CDM and note it down. Who was the viceroy at the time of CDM is Lord Irving. here. Lord Irwin was the viceroy. Taken? So Lord Irwin was the viceroy. In the Gandhi movie itself, you could see after my class, after you once studied twice in spectrum book, you go through the Gandhi movie. Don't with the headset. Even some people have the headset, superb headset. Don't give one headset to some other people. Okay, both the headset you have it, and see that the movie. Each English word you can note it down. With that itself, you could write mains question carefully. That is also class. So history wise, when coming to the class, I will tell story, movie. Normally a staff would say you should not watch movie, but as a history staff, I would encourage to watch movie. A director, actor is not at all. We only simply say after watching the movie, useless movie. No, you are useless. Actually, if you couldn't understand a movie means, if you don't like a movie means, you couldn't understand the story. Actually, that is the reason. Okay, you are not up to the level of that movie. That's why I used to say, you don't have the knowledge of that. Each movie has its own unique story. Especially some movies with a good background are there, but people would not like. Right, Gandhi movie you go through, superb word Gandhiji would use it. That itself may be asked as a question. So this is what of why I'm saying is Irwin would daily ask, what is about the movement, civil disobedience movement? It's going good, excellent way. Thousands of people, lakhs of people came to street, and they were fighting like anything. What to do? Completely out of scene. At last, something should be done to the Indians. What Lord Irwin announced is, you write it, round table conferences. So one side CDM was going on, other side government announces round table conferences. So you should not study round table conferences separately. You have to study along with this CDM. I have mentioned like this, but don't you split like this. You have to write one after another because it's a chronological order. Don't put like this. You have to write one, first RTC, second RTC, third RTC, like that. One after another you have to write it. Yes. So all together, how many round table conference? Simply you have to write RTC. Is 3 RTC. Here I mentioned. Between 1930-32, all were held in London. All were held in London. Don't immediately write all the RTCs. Just wait. Okay. What is the purpose of roundtable conference? Yes. Oh Indians, you are shouting in India, we want Swaraj, we want Purna Swaraj. Come, sail to London and shout the same words in front of our Secretary of State and shout it in the air of our Prime Minister and the Crown, so that at least they would give some concession. So whatever you want, come and shout it in London. So what is the purpose is to get Indian opinion. Note it down. To get Indian opinion. So you people were shouting like anything. Come and shout in London. First point. Second point is to discuss about Simon Commission report. That's why I said Simon Commission report is that much important, to discuss about Simon Commission report. Taken? Yes. That's why Simon Commission report is very important. Please, Indian, come to London for discussing. Simon already gave a report. We will discuss one after another. What kind of concession do you want? That's why 3 RTCs were held. Now, one by one, we will discuss. RTC 1, first RTC. Write it. So it's simple. Each RTC is here. Don't ever try to by heart the year. Okay, only this is enough. Even if you by heart 1930-32, simply you write 3 RTCs were held during civil disobedience movement. That's enough. Don't write here. Don't by heart here. Irritating, especially in mains answer writing. Whenever I am correcting the paper, so many years, so many personality, so many battles and even. Not at all. Rather than write the story, write the concept, that's enough. That's what interesting to read. If you write so many facts, no marks or less marks in mains. It would go negative. So here first RTC. In the first RTC, you note it down. Congress rejected to participate. But other political parties participated. Here itself I mentioned. Other parties. Taken. Who are all the other parties are here? Yes. Parties means political parties. I will give few political parties. Muslim League. Note it down. What are all the other political parties? At the time that also participated in the RTC is Muslim League, Hindu Mahasabha. So many political parties, only few notable alone I am discussing. Hindu Mahasabha, Depressed Class Association, Ambedkar, the head of the Depressed Class Association. So likewise, so many political parties, these political parties are notable, but not Congress. But third, if you see, not only the political parties, even princely states also send representatives. This is also important. Here only you can get extra score. Princely states also participated. It means that government asked not only the British Indian political party, princely state, Baroda Raja or Mysore Raja or Kashmir Raja, please send your representatives also. Sometimes what happened is to visit London, even the head of the princely Raja themselves went and jolly 10 to 15 days tour. After the round table conference is over, they also jolly enjoyed the holidays or days in London. That's the other thing. So likewise, first round table conference went, but Congress didn't participate. Why Congress was not participate? Gandhiji was jailed, one side. Other side, CDM was going on. How would you expect of participation of mine? That's a major reason Congress didn't participate of this. Okay, listen. First RTC was over. Government came to know. Listen. Government came to know any RTC without Congress is useless. So it's very concrete result of this. Why? Is Congress was a representative of the many people. Even today also, 2020 also, Congress may not be the ruling party, but Congress touch is there even up to the lowest level. Sir, how would you say, sir? I mean, whether in Trivandrum or whether in Guwahati, whether in Kashmir, even if you come to Chennai, even if you go to village, there would be a Nagar, Rajiv Nagar would be there. Otherwise, Indira Nagar would be there. Wherever you go in the Indian cities or Indian village, there would be village, such a Nagar. Have you seen any Modi Nagar? Modi Street? But throughout India, am I right? Even in your city, Arvind, in your city, any Rajiv Nagar, Modi Nagar, or any Indira Nagar is there? Indira Nagar is there or not? Definitely it should be. Or Gandhi Nagar would be there. Gandhi Street would be there. Actually, completely percolated into this. So, government at last come to a conclusion that participation of Congress is important. Now, listen. First RTC is over. No concrete outcome at the end of first RTC. Now, phone call from London to Irwin. Irwin, for next RTC, whatever the measure you take, we don't know. But for next RTC, we were in Congress participation should be there. So now heavy pressure. Listen, I am discussing between first RTC and second RTC. Call to Irwin. Irwin in India asked Congress, please, why you are so adamant? Please come and attend in the second RTC. Congress said that I am ready to participate, but you have to release our leader. You are so clever. One said you will arrest our leader, and other said you are inviting us to participate in the meeting. How clever you are. You would arrest our leader, but you would ask us to participate. First, you release our leader. Accordingly, come out of the first RTC, you write it. Irwin released Gandhiji. So after first RTC, you write. Irwin released Gandhiji. And both met. Both met and led to a pact. So what is the famous pact between first RTC and second RTC is Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Gandhi-Irwin Pact, March 1931. Gandhi-Irwin Pact, 1931. This is the method of study. Yourself you should. Okay, now what is the 1930, what was the capital of Viceroy and British was Delhi. Since it took place in Delhi, this is also called Delhi Pact. Write it. So it is a Gandhi-Irwin Pact. It is also called Delhi Pact. In the Gandhi movie, this scene is depicted. Gandhi would come in a four-wheeler and he would step up and would meet Irwin. In the table, equality was given to Indian. One side is Irwin, other side is the Gandhi. Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed. Yes. What is the significance of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact? Is first point. 4 or 5 points are there. Only 2 points here notable to be written. First is suspension of CDM. First point, note it down. CDM was suspended. Here I never use the word end of CDM. Here I use the word suspension of the CDM. What is the difference between suspension and end? What's the difference between suspension and end? Means suspension means it can be restarted at any point of time. Okay? Suspension of CDM, first. Second, Congress to participate in next RTC. To participate in next RTC. Taken? So these two are important. Other two informations are there that are trivial in nature. So no need of that much. Accordingly, listen. Congress put a suspension. Keep it in mind, CDM was suspended. Now Gandhiji should go to which place? London. That's why open the topic second RTC. Second RTC. (1931). What's the significance is Congress attended. This is the only point, important point, note it down. Congress attended and Gandhiji was the sole representative from the Congress. Underline the word. Gandhiji was the sole representative from the Congress. Taken? This is already age-old question. By 2000, before 2010, this kinds of question, a decade before. So Congress participated only in one RTC, that too only one person from Congress participated. Yes, Gandhiji went to, and even I have given. This is what's exact photo of second RTC. Here is Gandhiji, and nearby is the British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, and this side is the Indian other political parties representative. That is the British representative. This is exact photo. It's not a painting. Yes. Taken? Yes. This is what. So here Madan Mohan Malaviya, likewise so many Indian personalities you could see. In this way, Gandhiji attended, but he is dissatisfied with one affair. What is one aspect he dissatisfied is, listen, this aspect, right? What he came to know at that second RTC is, listen, government is willing to give separate electorate system to depressed class people. This is what his dissatisfaction in the second RTC. Note it down. Government is willing to give separate electorate system to depressed class people. Depressed class is SC people. So this is what he completely dissatisfied. So that's why in between gap, second RTC was over. Listen, Gandhiji returned back. So after second RTC, listen, last only one point. Here, Congress participated. Congress alone participated? No. Next point you write. Other political parties also participated. Here the same point. This point would come both in second RTC as well as in third RTC also. So other parties and princely state. So they participated in all the three RTCs. Here we are concentrating only about the Congress. Taken? Yes. Now listen, second RTC was over. Now we are here. Now we are here. Second RTC is over. Gandhiji returned back to India and again started CDM. Right. After second RTC, Gandhiji again started CDM. Again he was arrested. Why was he released? Only to participate second RTC. Second RTC was over. Again he came back. Again he started CDM. Again he was arrested. And he was kept in which jail? This is important. In which jail he was kept is Yerawada jail. Yerawada jail at Pune. So should we study all the jail? No. This jail and this is alone important because of helpful for our course of history. Yes. Now again he started 1932. Now we are in 1932. Again Gandhiji started it. In between the second artists over. After that, what happened is, listen, the British Prime Minister announced a communal award. Next point you write. After the arrest, right? The at last British Prime Minister announced communal. This was happened after second RTC. We are here. Who announced it? British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald. And what is communal award is the same thing. Separate electorate system given to depressed class. It was discussed in second RTC. Here it was given. Taken? That's all. This is what. Now listen, for what reason Gandhiji got agitated in second RTC here during this phases? He vehemently opposed the separate electorate system in the meeting. But when he returned back and again when he was jailed, the same thing was given. That's why against this communal award, Gandhiji went to fasting. Write it. This is most important question. Twice it is a preliminary question. Against this, Gandhiji went for fasting unto death. Went to fasting unto death in Yerawada jail. That's why we are discussing. Already Gandhiji was in Yerawada jail. He went to fasting unto death. Taken? Yes. This is very important. One side health condition was Gandhiji was deteriorating. Other side problem to the Congress leader. Pressure on Congress. Other side pressure on Ambedkar also. Why I am saying is, it was on the instant of the Ambedkar, the government gave separate electorate system to the depressed class. First it was given to Muslims as per 1909 Act. Later it was extended to other community as per 1919. That was based on religion. Okay. But here, within the Hinduism itself, government tried to use divide and rule. That's why Gandhiji vehemently opposed it. But Ambedkar wanted. Why? If separate electorate system is given, many seats would be given to the SC people. SC people would become politician. If they became that lawmaker, they would make law in favorable to SC people. Idea is good. Both wanted to uplift the SC people. But Gandhiji's concept thinking is different. Ambedkar thinking is different. Ambedkar considered like this. Gandhiji considered, no, Ambedkar, you are wrong. They would become MP. But in the name of separate electorate system, government was following divide and rule. SC people would be separated once for all if he accepted separate electorate system. Because already they were socially segregated. If separate electorate system was given, they would be segregated politically also. My intention is to unify with the rest of the people. We are socially segregated. Now we will be segregated politically also. This is also a divide and rule. Already they used religion to segregate the people. Now they are using casteism. That's why Gandhiji opposed, went for fasting unto death. At last there was a compromise between Gandhiji and Ambedkar. A pact was signed at a place called Pune. That's why it's called Pune Pact. So last you write it. A compromise between both that was signed at Pune. Why Pune Pact? Gandhiji was in jail at Pune. That's why it's called Pune Pact. Gandhiji was in jail. That's the reason it's called the Pune Pact. Simple. No need to buy heart Pune Pact, likewise. Why Pune Pact? Because of this. Actually, these are all every year I am discussing. Month after month I am discussing. Sometimes date after date I am discussing. These nuances is important. Here I have to go so slowly. Yes, that's all. Over. Next, third RTC. Right. So first RTC, in between gap, what happened? Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Second RTC, in between third RTC, what happened? Pune Pact. And third RTC, again first point you write, Congress didn't participate. Why Congress didn't participate? Same story. Gandhi was arrested and CDM was going on. Then how would you expect our participation? Mr. Government, how could we participate? That's why Congress didn't participate. But other political parties, all other participated here also. princely state also participated. Right, at the end of the third RTC, no concrete outcome. Likewise, 3 RTCs were held between 1930 and 1932. At least 45 minutes, this just to complete the 4 years or 5 years. Once this is over, then we will land at to 1940. Again, 1940 to 1947, it will go dead slow because inch by inch we have to discuss. This is the way of discussing, way of study, where you have to give significance and in depth, attend the class once, then over. Right? That's all. Now I come to the basic aspect. Basic aspect 1930-34, that is civil disobedience movement. 34, am I right? Civil disobedience movement. One side in India CDM was going on, other side is round table conference was going on. Correct? We discussed up to 1932. Sir, what happened, sir, 1932 to 1934? Is you write it, here is the dull phase, write it. It's a dull phase of the CDM. This phase is the active phase. Active phase and dull phase. That's why I took this much of time here. Within fraction of second I will complete. Okay, simple. Why it's an active dull phases? I can draw like this. Listen, 1930 it was started. Again I redefine the timeline. 1930 to 1931 CDM. This is the first phase, phase 1. After small gap, again it was restarted in 1932. Again it went up to 1934. So this is the first phase. This is the second phase. In between this, second RTC, because Congress suspended RTC. That's why I put suspended CDM. So this is normal diagram. This is the real split away portion. If you draw like this and write something, 2 marks for this. For this timeline itself, 2 marks. Understood? So at last, what is CDM is? CDM consists of 2 phases. First phase, second phase. In between gap suspended due to RTC, second RTC. Right. Shall I start? Why? Why it is dull phase is, here you write it, heavy suppression from government side. Government is actively suppressing. Heavy suppression, heavy violence. So whenever violence erupted, government suppressed it. Whenever suppression, it's difficult to come to participate in the movement. Taken? That's why, listen, 1932, listen, 1932, 33, 34. At the end of the 34, what happened is, no one is there to participate CDM. Initially it was peak, gradually started to decline like this, like this, like this. At last, listen, 1934, CDM was withdrawn. So Gandhiji withdrew CDM. That is the last point. Take it? So he withdrew the CDM concept. That's all. With this, we completed 1934 and 30 to 34. And the last one thing is this much of events taken. Now I will give it 1927. So many things happened. 1927, Simon Commission. Don't write. After that, Nehru report. After that, Lahore session. After that, Great Economic Depression. After that, 1930 to 1934, that is the CDM. In between CDM, roundtable conferences. All such incidents were reflected in the very last act. Open the topic, come out of the CDM and open the topic Government of India Act. You have to study. If you want to know Government of India Act, you have to know all the events since Simon Commission. All had an impact in this. Taken. It is already mains question. This Government of India Act itself is a mains question. Has been asked 15 mark question. Don't such write. Wait. Okay. So what's the significance means? Even polity. If you want to know Indian Constitution, our Indian Constitution, nearly half of the Indian Constitution is copied from a single act. What is Act is 1935? Note it down. Nearly half of our Constitution is copied from, taken from this. Next to them from Britain, next to them from USA, next only from the Japan or Australia, so and so. Major thing from 1935 Act. So without knowing 1935 Act, if you study Constitution of India, useless. Not only that, you should know since 1773. You should know since 1773. Then only Constituent Assembly and remaining part will be there. That's why modern India is the base for the foundation of the polity and understanding of other subjects. That's why took it priority and we are discussing. Ancient medieval, it will be helpful exclusively for history, but this one for other. Even PIC is there. Actually, I should discuss PIC at first, but PIC is very relevant. But if I discuss now itself, you may not aware of anything. Last few classes will be PIC. How I am coming at first? At last I will come. At the time, I will discuss the conclusion portion of the entire GS in the name of PIC. I will discuss geography, we will discuss of social issues, we will discuss of economy. Along with that, we will discuss bilateral issue 1962, all holistic view in PIC. Likewise, here Government of India is much crucial. Actually, a single act which impact on Indian Constitution is 1935 Act. Okay, what is the first provision? Is abolition of diarchy in province. Yes. You know what is diarchy? It was introduced in 1919 Act. That is, one is transfer list, another is a reserved list, so and so, blah blah. We already discussed. That system was abolished. That system which was introduced in 1919. Okay. Taken. If diarchy is abolished in province, what was given in provinces? Right. You continue the point. Instead, provinces were given autonomous status. The second point. Actually, you have to add like this. Provinces were given autonomous status. Or responsible government. You could write like this. Provinces were given autonomous status, or responsible government, or dominion status. One and the same. Only 1935 Act dominion status was given not in central level, provincial level. So provincial level itself First time dominion status was given as per 1935 Act. The other name is responsible government. The other name is autonomous. Why I am discussing this much means with these 2 points only, next 3 years we will discuss. Okay. What is responsible government, autonomous status? Once the act is finished, I will discuss. Second point is you write like this. Proposal. Then you come back to this. Okay. Proposal for setting up of 2017 preliminary question. Proposal for setting up of All India Federation. All India Federation. Actually, government was intended to create a federation-like setup. That is called All India. Don't confuse with CLA, PLA. That was functioning. Apart from that, government decided to set up a new called All India Federation. Right here, both members from British India and from princely states. So in this All India Federation, government invited both the members. Okay, proposals were made, but only failure of the 1935 Act is this was never came into force. This was never came into force. Actually, it was a failed proposal. That's why only in the proposal stage, not was in implementation stage. Okay, it's a third point. Next is, this is also already UPSC question. Recent division of power first time was introduced. Actually, present day division of power. Even our Indian constitution, we do have division of power. Central list, state list, right? Concurrent list. Earlier we study residual list. 1919 is different. Here is the concurrent list. Today in Government of India Act, Constitution, we are using division of power that is copied from 1935 Act. As such, we copied instead of federal, central, instead of province, state. This is also important. And next is Burma was separated from India. Separated from India. When was Burma unified with India? Type. 1886. Super. At the end of the Third Burmese War, the entire Burma was annexed. Even if you go back to the Anglo-Burmese War, the same word I have given, statement. In 1930, Burma was again separated. That's why I am saying, once attend complete class, otherwise don't attend. Openly I will say. Right? Whether it may hurt you, whatever that problem, you come and attend the class. Once attend history class, after that damn easy. It's the easiest subject. Otherwise, if you skip some classes, it's a toughest subject. Okay, history is not tough based on your attendance. That's all. And last is a federal bank was established. Don't write as such. Federal bank was established. Later became RBI. So present day RBI is dates back to 1935 in the name of Federal Bank. Next point. A federal court was established, later become Supreme Court of India. So first Federal Bank, separate point. Next a federal court, later become Supreme Court. Present day in Delhi Supreme Court is there. Origin dates back to 1935. These are all the important province. Historical basis, these are. If you take Lakshmikant book, another 4 to 5 administrative wise it is mentioned. If we clubbed together, that's all over. Okay, with this we successfully completed all the act, correct? All the act we completed. You see that 11 act we completed successfully. 1773, 1784, 1813, 1833, 1853, 1858, 1861, 1892, 1909, 1919 and 1935. This is what, when I open regulating act, you may not know anything, but now you should know everything. 11 act, India Independence Act, damn easy, all we discussed. Polity, unit number 2 is 1 is over. Nearly 10 pages over. Okay, so that's all. With this, major part is over. Now I am entering into the last set. Is this, write the topic. Write the topic and note it down. This is already UPSC question. Recent, this is the chronological order based question, this part. Yes. So how you have to discuss study of this is, listen, these three should and study together. Okay, if you take provincial election, you have to completely discuss up to Ministry of Congress Minister resign. So if you opened, these three should be clubbed, and the second is these two clubs and to be studied as one. August offer individual satyagraha, you should not study separately. And next is these two should be studied clubbed together. So Cripps mission, Quit India movement. Without Cripps mission, you should not, because these are all effect. Because of Cripps mission only, Quit India movement. Because of August offer only, individual satyagraha. Because of the provincial election, World War only, Congress minister resigned. Okay, what happened? One after another. Since I discussed history, study of anything in chronological order, this is important. Okay, today I will discuss up to this. Okay, try to complete. Remaining thing I have to discuss in the next class only, since it's difficult. Okay. First, open the topic. Provincial election. First, this topic. And Congress government. Simple. Why provincial election means as per 1935 Act. Note it down. Under that first point is 1935 Act. Here itself it's mentioned. Under 1935 Act, elections were held to all the provinces. When elections were held, in that topic itself is they don't write. So why election by the time? It's simple. 1935 Act. Everything is based on 1935. You see that 1935 Act, diarchy was abolished. Instead of diarchy, provinces were given autonomous, otherwise given responsible government. This word is keyword. Yes. Why election means you have to take origin from here. A government is responsible to whom? Is the people. Listen. A government is responsible to people. When a government is responsible to people mean when it is elected by people. If it is so, what should be held? Election should be held. That's why accordingly elections were held in 1936-37 as per 1935 election. So simple. Why provincial election? 1935 Act says. Okay. Sir, election result. What is election result to all the 11 provinces, sir? You write it. Election result. Election result. How many provinces? In how many places Congress got victory? Because here Congress government alone. In how many provinces Congress got victory? Simple. As of now, in how many states BJP is ruling? How many state Congress is ruling? In how many state other regional parties are ruling? Likewise. So altogether 11 provinces. In 11 provinces, out of 11, 6 Congress majority. So election, this is the election result. In that Congress majority, 6 province. Okay. Out of 11, 2 provinces, Muslim League formed the government because they were the majority party and formed the government. Now I will tell how many province and what are all the province. All the 11 province I will give. And second, and out of 11, 2 provinces, local parties. That is no Congress, no Muslim League. Local parties. Where? Bengal. Bengal, the party name is Krishak Praja Party. So in Bengal, there is a local party called Krishak Praja Party, and in Punjab, a party called Unionist Party. Best example, if you come to Tamil Nadu, no Congress, no BJP, a local party, either DMK or ADMK would rule. Likewise, here in Punjab and Bengal region, neither Muslim League or Congress, local parties. Okay, and in one province, coalition government formed by Congress. Coalition government formed by Congress. Here you see that here Congress majority in the 6th province, but here Congress formed the coalition. Which province is Northwestern Frontier Province? Northwestern Frontier Province. Okay, so here I mentioned in where all the 2 province Muslim League formed the government. Write it. One is Assam, another is Sindh. So don't by heart all the provinces so and so. I'm giving overall aspect. Now 28 states. During British period, how many provinces? You should know. What are all the provinces? At least you should know. Only for that purpose I'm giving. Okay. Assam mentioned. And remaining 6 Congress. What are all the 6 provinces? Here you noted. Madras. Madras means Madras province. Bombay. So Madras province. Bombay province. Central province. Central province. Bihar. Orissa. Have I mentioned Orissa? And United Province. Yes, okay. If no means all to the 6. Madras, Bombay, Central Province, Odisha, Bihar and United Province. In these 6 provinces and later 7 Congress formed it. So in that way Congress and other parties formed in 1937. Listen, elections were held in 36-37. Result happened in 1937. Okay, listen. All formed the government in provinces 1937 mean how many years should they rule? Up to which year should they rule? How many years should they rule? 3 years, exactly. Why 3 years means every year election, once in 3 year election should be held. Last time we discussed. So you open it 1937 to 1940. So Congress and other parties ruled between 1937 to 1940. Here I just confined to the Congress government. Taken? So this is what of this 1937 to 1940. That's all. So 3 years Congress should rule, and Congress decided to ruled 3 years. Listen, with this I will conclude. 1937 it was ruling good. 1937 also good. 1939 also good. But what happened? They didn't complete the entire tenure in the timeline you write on October 1939. In the timeline itself I have given. October 1939, all the Congress, you write it in the timeline. On October 1939, all the Congress ministries resigned. In the timeline itself, try to write. Yes. So why all the Congress ministries resign, sir? Even they can rule for next 1 year. As per the tenure would come to an end 1940. But 1939, October itself, all resigned. Why? With this question, I complete today's session, because last 6 years we have to discuss separate way. So why did Congress ministries resign and what were the consequences? That we will discuss in the last class question hours. Any questions? Yes.
Hello. Sir, my doubt is hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Sir, why didn't British not include Indians in Simon Commission? If they include, doesn't they does they lost anything, or at least they can avoid Simon Commission movement, sir? Why didn't British not include in Simon Commission, sir?
That's why I said, because British consider
If they include their lost anything, or at least they can avoid at least Simon movement, sir, in India.
Yes.
They simply cannot less.
One is two questions. One is British consider that since it's a very powerful commission, they
Okay, sir.
join any chance to they didn't want to give any chance to Indian by including them into the Simon Commission. For example, if one or two Indians are included in the Simon Commission, that Indian would work in favorable to the India, but British government don't want, because so many liberty would be given if included. If all the members are white members, a recommendation would be definitely against Indian. Second is, since all the members were the white people, when Simon Commission entered India, except one or two political parties, all the political parties opposed it. No.
Okay, sir.
Ready to meet.
Sir, there is in Gandhi Irvine Road in Egmore, sir. What is its history, sir?
Yes. Gandhi Irvine
Gandhi
Road.
Irvine in Egmore, sir.
I think.
Is there any?
Yes. I am also daily traveling it. I also tried. Two things. It might have been constructed in 1931 after the Gandhi Irvine Pact was signed. On that year, on that month, the road might have been constructed. That is the only thing.
Okay, sir.
My knowledge, I am interfering.
Sir, in 1911, sir, capital was shifted to Kolkata, sir. The actual Indian Parliament was built in 1927, sir. In between that, where does CLA assembled, sir?
Actually, that might have been some temporary building. In 1911, they shifted to New Delhi. That might have been some temporary building. You are right. That's the only thing I can do, because 1911 symbolically they entered into New Delhi. What you are saying is Parliamentary House, everything was constructed. Present day Parliamentary House was constructed, but before that.
Yes, sir. 1927, sir.
But before that, they might have worked temporarily in some other building in New Delhi. I don't know exactly which building is this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Next. Next.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, when was the Nehru report submitted, sir? It is before the Simon Commission report or after the Simon Commission report, sir?
Before Simon Commission report, 1928 itself.
Simon Commission report was also on 1928, no, sir?
20.
Okay, sir. Sir, what is the impact of Pune Pact, sir?
In Pune Pact wise negotiation, according to that, Ambedkar, depressed class people, rejected the communal award. They don't want communal award. Accordingly, separate electorate system was not given to the depressed class people. That's the impact.
Okay, sir. Sir, due to network issues, I couldn't hear about why that salt was taken for Satyagraha, sir.
Because salt is the only commodity where all people should use it. So that's why Gandhi took it. So all people could support.
Okay, sir. So, but agriculture was also can be taken, no, sir. Why not the salt? Why not?
Alone would come to the movement. I am not an agriculturist. I would not come to movement. Professionals people would not come, but salt, all the people would come. That's the reason, only reason.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, who was the viceroy during the revolutionary nationalism phase two, sir?
At the time viceroy shifted. At the time we don't want viceroy's name. We no need to study all the viceroys. Even myself don't.
Okay, sir. So then, can you please repeat about that Sander and Scott assassination, sir? Because I couldn't get that. What is the crux of that story, sir? What happened to Sanders and Scott?
Then you watch the movie video, because that's I explained little bit more.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, sir. Then, sir, during the Government of India Act, you said provincial autonomy will be created. So we mean that direct elections were held. That's the only difference, sir.
Since 1919 itself, all the elections are direct election, because such a provisions were given in 1919 itself.
Okay. What is the difference between that kind of government, responsible government, sir?
What?
Like, what is the difference between the normal diarchy government and the responsible government?
No, diarchy is not at all a government. Yeah, different. What is diarchy?
The powers are transferred list and reserve list.
This executive wise, that's entirely different. This is entirely different. Diarchy government is wrong. Diarchy wise, power was given partially to Indians, but here, except the governor, all the powers were given to Indian.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon.
So my questions, the significance of Nehru report based, sir. The first and second points I couldn't get, sir. Please kindly request once again tell me, sir. I can write it.
What is the other point you have taken?
That dominant state of Indian, and then no separation of electoral system. Third and fourth point.
Okay. First is fundamental rights. It mentioned of fundamental rights.
Okay, sir.
Dominion status, have you written?
Yes, sir. Dominion state.
Yes, dominion. Linguistic based state.
Okay, sir.
That's all.
I take it, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you tell about the difference between a concurrent list and a residual list, sir?
No, one and the same. Only name is different.
So both concurrent and residual are
Yes.
same, no, sir?
A little bit explanation would be given in polity. A small is there. That alone, you ask the same doubt. While polity sir is taking of division of power, better. At the time, then only you know central list status, concurrent list, and difference between concurrent residual list.
Okay, sir. Sir,
better to ask there, then only you will get. I will explain it. But after taking polities ABCD, then the same doubt is asked, explain, you will get a good understanding. Yes, next.
Sir, my second doubt is in 1935 Act, the autonomy is given. Autonomy is given means the chief minister headed by state, that like government is
exactly
formulated, no, sir?
Yes, chief minister concept. So all note it down. 76 people alone is there. All note it down. Chief minister concept. Exactly right. Governor, British. Chief Minister, Council of Minister, Indian. That's all.
Oh, okay, sir. Did we want to know who is the first Chief Minister of India? Like,
First Chief Minister?
no, India. Sorry, first Chief Minister who want to take the power, like that. That we want to know, sir.
No, don't want.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I still don't understand what is a responsible government. You said it is about elections, but already direct elections were there in 1919 Act itself. So what is new now in 1935 Act?
Actually, here, 1990 powers in central and provincial levels were very restricted. Very, very restricted. All the powers were in the hands of governor. 1935 Act, responsible government, right, means elections held, and such a elected government should have power and responsibility, not governor. Even today also, governor does not have power than Chief Minister, Council of Minister. So Chief Minister, Council of Minister mean in Tamil Nadu, Chief Minister, Council of Minister are elected by people. So elected by people mean they are responsible to government. So if it is responsible government and power means all the power is derived by the people and that people representative or ruling mean autonomy. So British, that is autonomy. And if such a people are ruling by themselves means that is called dominion status. That's why dominion status in provincial level or the self-government in provincial level because their people representatives are ruling. Responsible government, why I used means since elected people are responsible, that's why used.
Okay, so then by no act, the central government had any type of dominion status. Is
Yes.
it so, sir? Because I mean that.
Yes, dominion was not given in central level, was given only in provincial level. That's very clear.
Okay, sir. And you also said about the division of power during the 1919 Act. So was it given in the 1919 Act itself, sir?
No, 1935. 1919 Act, division of power like concept was there. But if question is asked, division of power wise, that means 1935 Act.
So when federation came into existence only by 1935 Act. Is it?
No. Federation concept, yes, federation concept, present day concept, you can take 1935, exactly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, my first doubt is regarding the diarchy, sir. They introduced the diarchy in 1919 Act and they again retook it in the Act of 1935. What's the negative, sir?
Yes, exactly. It's a full of negative, complete negative. I am not discussing it. It will go up to optional range. That's why I'm not discussing why negative so and so. It's a pure negative, exactly right.
Yes, sir. Then what about the Nehru report, sir? Congress has set up a
Yes.
committee and
Nehru report was also not at all taken later because Nehru report didn't support dominion status. Am I right? But in Congress
yes,
session, Lahore session itself, dominion status was not the aim rather than Purna Swaraj. That's why Nehru report was nothing.
so whether they submitted it to the British government and said, please take it to the recommendation.
Before Congress also, as well as before the government also, they submitted. Normally, government would not. For example, if I give a petition to the government would not take it likewise. Nehru report.
Yes, sir. Next doubt is that Congress didn't participate in the first phase of elections, sir. But after the 1935 reform, the Congress government participated. Why that?
Yes, that's a very, very good. So initially Congress adamant, now Congress itself changed its view and itself participated. Exactly. That we have to, Congress changed its ideology.
Yes, sir. Then about that CPI, sir, why they started in Uzbekistan, sir, rather than in India?
That time you can't start in India because it's a British Raj. British is the capitalist. How could you start a communist party in India? British would not allow. That's why, because of such a fear, they first start in Uzbekistan. After that, situation was completely changed. Then they started in India.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Sir, have a basic note, sir. Division of powers means it's federation. Separation of powers means it's legislature, judiciary, and executive. Am I right, sir?
Exactly.
Correct, sir?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, sir. And regarding this provincial list, the two divisions, transferred list and reserve list, what is the difference, sir?
They don't want. That's why I deliberately left it. Leave it. You just study transfer list, reserve list. That's enough.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir, regarding the CDM, it is only about not paying taxes and some amount of non-cooperation, or some other thing is there, sir?
That's all. These two alone.
These two alone. Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. That Swadeshi movement is it was continued, or when Gandhiji stopped, everybody stopped that movement. Means other like CDM and non-cooperation, it was also stopped, sir.
That was also all the movement has an end.
Okay. Okay, sir. And and also, why Jan 26 was proposed by Lahore session, sir?
On the day, Jan 26, Sunday holiday, all would come to street for Independence Day celebration. That's the reason. 1930 Jan 26, if you go to calendar in your cell phone, it shows on Sunday. Sunday normally holiday, so all would come, we can celebrate it.
So Nehru indirectly mentioned that he wanted Purna Swaraj immediately.
Yes. Immediately they want Purna Swaraj. That's why they celebrated Purna Swaraj itself in the very next month itself.
Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. What is the connect between Ahoms and Burmese, sir, in that Burmese war and all?
What's the connection between?
Ahoms and Anglo-Burmese war, sir.
At the end of Anglo-Burmese war only Ahom area was captured. Assam part, that area was also under the Burmese ruler. They captured it. Even we discussed the Treaty of Yandabu. At the Treaty of Yandabu only they got the Assam region. Check it. That area were under the control of that area were ruled, inhabited by Ahoms.
War between British India and Burma, no, sir, Myanmar, that is present day Myanmar. So Ahoms were part of India, Northeast India.
Presently,
so British got victory.
Earlier, that area was under Burmese.
That entire Northeast, or up to Assam, or
only some part, not all the part, only few part, especially the home area, they were controlled by Burmese ruler.
Okay, sir. I got it, sir. And one more doubt, sir, regarding this Ramsay MacDonald, British Prime Minister. Is there any link between the Ramsay Award and this person, sir?
Ramsay Award is in Indonesia or
Philippines, right?
Philippines. That's no connection.
No connection. Okay, sir.
Yes.
And then regarding this, Gandhi was jailed in Pune. In that one place is there, no, sir, Aga Khan Palace or something. That is different.
Entirely different.
Entirely different. That was during last period of Gandhi, sir, after 1930s.
Quit India movement, he was jailed. He was arrested.
Okay. And okay, sir. Somewhere in heritage monument sites, they were giving like Aga Khan Cultural Association something. Who is that Aga Khan, sir?
He was a founder, one of the founder of a Muslim League.
Indian, sir?
Indian. He was an Indian Aga Khan. He was a founder of Muslim League. Party.
Muslim League Party, but he was interested in culture also. That's why he based on his name, or
Later it was started Aga Khan culture. Even if you have many banglas, your one bangla can be converted into culture. Even though if you don't have interest it, after your death, it would be considered as a cultural monument.
okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Sir, all this non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement were going on in India. Was British aware that in near future they have to leave the country? See, the situations were going on like this, and was they aware about it?
No, unaware of this. This kinds of movements are sudden origin of the Congress. After announcement of the Congress, government itself came to know.
Did they had an apprehension that they had to leave the country? They would have to leave the country in the near future. That's what my question.
Who had to leave the country?
Britishers. They themselves had an apprehension. Because all these movements were going on, somewhat strongly we can tell than the earlier movement. So, did they have that apprehension or fear that they had to leave the country in near future?
Every time when compared to CDM was good. When compared to CDM, Quit India movement was one step ahead. So every time when the mass movement happened, they apprehended. They feared of such a thing.
Okay, so you told about the responsible government, the definition or the concept of the responsible government. Can you repeat it once more, sir?
Responsible means responsible to people. That's all. That's a responsible government.
No, in a previous one aspirant asked you about the concept of a responsible government, how it is different from the government that is formed by 1919, because elections were there on 1919 as well as in 1935.
Yes.
So I told a concept now to take down.
Indians were given limited power in province. In 1935,
okay.
was given.
Yes, more power was given.
Yeah, more power. Like present day in states, chief minister and cabinet.
So the Council of Ministers, the decision taken by this Council of Ministers were binding, means these governors were binding to the decision to the Council of Ministers. Is it so, sir?
To some extent, not very similar to that.
Okay.
Between 1919 and in between now, between. So not that much of entire power. Some power when compared to 1990.
So the governors were the British people, and couldn't the Britishers participate in the election?
If British could get a seat from in constituency, they could easily participate.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, G. I have a couple of questions. I'm sorry it's getting late for you, but I'll just make it quick. Was there communal award in 1936 election?
What's your question? What communal?
Was the communal award in 1936 election? Communal award.
Yeah. Communal. No. A communal award was not given to scheduled caste people. Separate electorate system was given earlier to Muslim League and other. That alone was extended. Communal award as given
for Muslim Sikh people. Everyone, those people got that in that
Not
election.
yes, not to the separate the press class people.
Not only for not for SC ST.
Yes.
Gee, another question is, when was for the first election in India which had universal adult suffrage?
After independence.
After independence. Okay. In 1935 Act, there was this idea to bring all India federation, right?
Yes.
Can we in exam write the nation of the idea of one nation was born at this act time? Before that, they were wanting independence, but there was no one nation idea.
Yeah.
Togetherness was
Yes.
there.
You can interpret in mains.
Okay. Then Jay, you didn't say why Gandhi withdrew his unto death satyagraha, this fasting unto death. Why did he withdraw that?
No, Pune Pact was signed. Ambedkar ji accepted we would not accept separate electorate system, that is communal award. That's why he withdrew fasting.
That was only Ambedkar, right? Ambedkar said, but the Prime Minister said, have to say that. Only
No.
Ambedkar said that.
For example, 10% reservation to OBC. If the OBC people themselves didn't accept, what is the purpose of simply making such a reservation?
Yesterday you said that you will tell us the 10 important Congress session whose presidents we should be remembering. That you will tell next class also.
Next class I will discuss important session. You
Okay.
Spectrum book.
Okay.
Keep Spectrum book. I will discuss.
One last question. Likewise, we have to know the boycott, the passive resistance was from Aurobindo's idea. Should we know that the Hartal was from this home rule movement's idea? Like that is correct interpretation. Hartal India started
even from Swadeshi itself. I use the word Hartal in home rule, but such a concept is traced to Swadeshi movement itself. So extremist phase itself.
So this will come in passive resistance. Hartal also is a passive resistance.
No, passive resistance is a boycott. Yeah, Hartal means simple. Passive resistance another thing. Hartal means what? One strike. If you do the street procession, that itself is the Hartal. Hartal is none other than this. This is the Hartal. That's all. If you come to street, irrespective of the movement, Hartal, that's all.
Oh, they don't have to close the shops, disobey the law and all. Hartal means just coming to the street.
Not only closing the shop, closing your own shop, coming to the street, blocking the road, that is Hartal.
That is Hartal. That was there in Swadeshi movement itself.
Swadeshi movement itself it was
there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you hear me, sir? Sir, in Gandhi movie, Gandhi and Ambedkar both were agreed to provide some seats for SC, sir. Is that reservation, sir?
Reserved seat, not separate electorate. That is for reserved seat.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, why Jawaharlal Nehru decided to keep 26 January, sir? Is there any specific?
That's why I said now, Sunday.
Sir, no, sir. He decided to keep January 26 as a independence, sir.
That's why on that day it's a Sunday. First, he decided to keep on Sunday so that people would come. At least we would celebrate first Independence Day with mass. That's the only.
Oh, okay, sir. Sir, we in 1892 only the first election was held in India, sir. Indirect election.
Yes.
So, okay, sir. Sir, sir, we did not discuss about the Lucknow Pact, sir. Lucknow Pact.
Tomorrow, sir, next class in Congress session we will discuss.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.